I'm Rebecca Taylor and I'm here with Pastor Joseph. We're here to talk about the relevance of leadership and how it has impacted our community and community lives. So what really brought you to think about leadership and what do you think is its importance?
Well, in my opinion, we are all called to lead. It begins with ourselves. It's easy to tell people things and you're not doing it. We are called to lead our families. We are called to lead communities, organizations, and there are people who are called to lead nations and people who are called to lead the world. So we all are leaders, but primarily leadership is a calling. For me, there are key 4 things. Humility is a big part of true leadership. It is written that when we humble ourselves, God lifts us. The second thing is the way to the top, the way up is the way down. Jesus said, if you want to be a leader, you must be the servant. So Jesus has actually pointed us to what true leadership is. You want to go up, you must be willing to go down. The third thing is to understand that when you are looked up to as a leader, the people that you are leading are actually doing you a favor because your perfection is in their character. You're leading people, but these people are bringing everything out of you. They are bringing out of you patience. They're bringing out of you love. They're bringing out of you joy. They're bringing out of you different things. You are never doing a favor to people you lead. They are doing you a favor by making you the better person that God wants you to be. And lastly, when we think of leadership, we need to understand that we are not doing it unto man, but we are doing it unto the Lord. So for me, these 4 things are really vital in authentic leadership. And I want to ask you this question. Imagine if Jesus was living in our days today, how much title you think will be attributed to him?
That's an amazing thought. Titles these days, the person gets lost within that. Having said that, it's interesting how you would think of it that way, where Jesus, if he was part of our present day life today, how many titles would he have and how would we address him? Would he have multiple doctors before his name? But we just call him Jesus. A title actually means nothing.
That's exactly what I am driving at, because today I feel that we have more titles than the job we do. It means nothing to God. What you do is really what matters. We just call the apostles their name, Peter, John, Paul, we just call them. But today it's even very challenging for you to look at a clergyman and call them by their names. You're going to be their enemy for life because you did not put the title. I believe that people have worked for those titles. They should be called that.
I agree.
But it does not matter.
I feel like a title is a barrier. I feel like it shackles the people you work with, because when you hold on to a title too tightly, you lose the purpose of why you're there in the first place.
That's right. You lose your authenticity. You lose who you truly are. Today, if you ask people, who are you? They only think about their title and what they have achieved, what is in their bank account. But the question, who are you, actually has nothing to do with that. It's an address to your soul. Do you know who you are?
And it's probably the toughest questions to answer, isn't it?
Yes.
When you ask someone, tell me about yourself, and you, for a second, wonder, where am I in all of this? I think leadership is the same. It doesn't matter how high you've risen. It shouldn't take away the human from you.
Well, that's the greatest aspect of leadership. There's only one thing I can say, is connect. If you look at the life of Jesus, Jesus connected with everybody. The disciples were all around him, but he will stop for a second and connect with a child who is standing by the road. Connection is leadership. If you cannot connect, regardless of what position you hold, you could be a prime minister. If you cannot connect, that's no leadership. So connection is the most important. Let's just look at God in all his sovereignty and holiness and divinity. He connects with us.
How easy is it for you to talk to different age groups? Do you change your style in which you connect with these individuals?
Well, I actually deal with more people out of the church than in the church. In a week, I can talk to 15 people from all across Australia who are going through extreme levels of pain. Our means of connection is the Zoom. When I turn that camera on, I'm not a pastor. That title is not important. What I want is this person who has never met me, I want them to feel comfortable that they can be vulnerable. And by the grace of God, I've been able to achieve that. I've met with people for the very first time. In 10 minutes time, entering in our conversation, they just open up. And they will use words like, you are the first person I have ever told what I am telling you. You are the first person I've never told anybody. That's huge. And that happens every day. What is the secret? I won't tell you this is the secret, but I just feel that I'm one with that person. There was one thing that gave Jesus access into people's life is the word called compassion. The only way I can get you to open up, I have to make you understand your pain is my pain too. If you smile, I smile. If you are okay, I'm okay. That opens you up. And for me, compassion is that catch between you and someone. If you can suffer with someone, people walk in this church, I want to add value on their life. That's it. I don't expect anything from them but value.
There's also a level of trust, right? Trust is a foundation of every relationship. Even an individual who comes up to you to share an experience. It could be a good experience, it could be a painful experience, it could be any experience. But for that person to divulge, an experience of their lives to you requires a level of trust on both ends.
Oh, yeah. I think it's always hard to gain trust. We need to respect the fact that people's life is completely something very special and personal and private. So they don't need to tell you. The fact that I'm a pastor does not mean I should know your problem. It should be your choice. And that's where trust comes in. Even online, when I share with people who are going through serious levels of affliction, the first thing I tell them, you don't need to share with me what you are not comfortable sharing. Until you are comfortable, then you share. These are sacred things. These are things that have happened to you. So I honor that. I honor the fact that, when people share with me, I tell them, you have truly blessed me. And I want you to know that your vulnerability today have really, really uplifted me, and I have learned a lot from you.
That's amazing. And I'm so happy that you joined me today to discuss leadership and sort of break it down into so many variants of trust, respect, responsibility, accountability, and authenticity.
Thank you. Thank you, Rebecca. You always are an amazing person, and I truly appreciate your presence here with me at the church.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Pastor Joseph.